through the first 5 innings of an eventual 2-1 win over the Phillies in 10 innings on Tuesday night, the Marlins bats fell quiet. They whispered through groundouts. They murmured through flyouts. Strikeouts rendered them silent. Miami could not muster a base runner against Philadelphia right-hander Zach Eflin. 15 Marlins came to the plate. 15 sat back down. Eflin was perfect. But the Marlins bats awoke just enough in the final innings to squeeze by the Phillies for Miami's 4th straight win and 6th in the last 7 games. It also clinched the 3rd consecutive series win for the Marlins after they dropped the first 7 of the season. Yadiel Rivera laced a single to center field in the bottom of the 10th inning to score Cameron Maybin. It was Rivera's first RBI of the season and first career walk-off hit. "Yadi, how can you not be happy for him?" Marlins manager Don Mattingly said. "I don't know if you guys see the same thing we see, but this is a kid that works so hard and continues to work on his swing." After just hooking a potential home run foul, Cameron Maybin legged out a 1-out triple to the gap in left center field. Yaxel Rios intentionally walked Miguel Rojas, setting up Rivera's heroics. For Rivera, it was an earlier birthday present to himself. He turns 26 on Wednesday. "That's the job that I got, coming off the bench," Rivera said. "Everybody on the bench has to come ready to do their job. I got it done tonight." Rivera's hit came after Jarlin Garcia continued his remarkable start to the season by throwing 6 innings of 1-run ball. He allowed 5 hits and a walk while striking out 3. His ERA this season now sits at a paltry 1.09. In his 4 starts this season, Garcia has surrendered just 10 hits, the fewest for any Marlins pitcher in franchise history across their first 4 starts. The Phillies knocked Garcia for a run in the 5th inning, when Rhys Hoskins doubled home Jorge Alfaro to put Philadelphia up 1-0. "I'm getting more comfortable and more experienced every time I go out there," Garcia said through a translator. "It's just taking those experiences and applying them to my next start, learning when to throw certain pitches, when to mix my breaking balls, things like that." As Garcia dealt, so did Eflin in his first major league start of the season. 8 days before Tuesday night's game, Eflin suited up for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs in Norfolk, Virginia. He gave up 10 hits and 6 runs. He owned a career 5.85 ERA in 22 major league appearances. That didn't matter Tuesday night. Eflin mostly used an array of 95 mph fastballs and diving sliders to keep Marlins hitters off balance. He waded into a 3-ball count just once and struck out 4 Marlins. "When you're in a 1-run game, anything can happen at that point," Mattingly said. "It's a long way to go, there's a lot of outs to get there. Still felt pretty confident that your club could do something in those last basically 12 outs that we had." Miguel Rojas was the first batter to solve Eflin, dumping a double down the right field line to ruin Eflin's perfect game bid. The ball fell between a trio of Phillies, giving Miami its first base runner of the night and some hope of soiling the shutout bid as well. Lewis Brinson stepped into the box. Though he went 0 for 2 in the box score, he still had an eventful night. On defense, he chased down a deep fly ball in the left center field gap in the 4th inning. He also misjudged a line drive in the 5th, needing a leap to snag Cesar Hernandez's hard hit ball. In addition to his play in center field, he had a nightmare of a bottom of the 6th inning. After Rojas's double, Brinson tried moving him to third with a sacrifice bunt. But Brinson's bunt barely rolled past home plate and hung Rojas in a rundown between second and third. The rundown didn't last long enough for Brinson to advance to second base. The Marlins lost both an out and a base. With Justin Bour at the plate, pinch hitting for the 2nd night in a row, Brinson survived 6 pickoff attempts before succumbing to the 7th. Philadelphia challenged the play after Brinson was initially ruled safe. First baseman Carlos Santana's glove tagged Brinson on the arm just before he touched first base. 4 pitches later, Bour stroked a home run to right center field that tied the game. It would have given Miami a 2-1 lead had Brinson not gotten picked off. Instead, it simply kept Miami alive. "We still got a long way to go, but it's good to see that we're winning ball games," Bour said. "It's nice to come in here after wins and not losses." The pickoff was the last play Brinson made Tuesday night, lifted in the top of the 7th inning as part of a double switch. Philadelphia squandered a pair of late-game chances, stranding 5 total runners in the 9th and 10th innings. In those frames, against Teran Guerrero and Junichi Tozawa, the Phillies went 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Caption: Marlins lefty Jarlin Garcia says he was focused on getting outs, not preserving his streak of no-hit innings that reached 10. Marlins lefty Jarlin Garcia says he was focused on getting outs, not preserving his streak of no-hit innings that reached 10. Caption: Marlins manager Don Mattingly talks about the high expectations of playing in New York, says it doesn't matter what you did last year. Marlins manager Don Mattingly talks about the high expectations of playing in New York, says it doesn't matter what you did last year. Caption: Marlins CEO Derek Jeter says we'll continue to report the actual tickets sold and work on increasing attendance. Marlins CEO Derek Jeter says we'll continue to report the actual tickets sold and work on increasing attendance. Caption: Marlins catcher JT Realmuto discusses his return from a back injury, says he hopes to help the team get on winning track. Marlins catcher JT Realmuto discusses his return from a back injury, says he hopes to help the team get on winning track. Caption: Marlins manager Don Mattingly discusses how JT Realmuto fits into a lineup that has struggled to score runs. Marlins manager Don Mattingly discusses how JT Realmuto fits into a lineup that has struggled to score runs. MDE Franks at sun-sentinel.com, on Twitter at @MidFrank.